Now, with it being such an incredible change in the industry, just how complex is it actually migrating to that ISO 20022 standard?
Well, it's definitely start of something next, what we call it as amazing. But before we even talk about ISO 222, let's also take a look at what financial messaging has been doing and how it has been acting as a foundation of all the payments around the world.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, financial messaging is all about this massive amount of data and information exchange where there is a sender and receiver and they have a common language to talk to, and also the interpretation of that information exchange. In technical terms, if I call it as, then when we call it about the structure of the message, that's what is called as syntax, and the meaning of the message, what is semantics.
Yeah.
Now, when we look at ISO 222, it was originally launched in 2004. If I compare with it, with the most widely accepted message today, which is ISO 8583, it came in like 1993.
Wow.
The same year when Bill Clinton became the president and the first Jurassic Park movie got launched. So, and today, after years and decades, we still look at a lot of financial institutions who are still acting towards implementing some kind of a middlewares or some components to be able to map the data of 8583.
Yeah.
So we are still working of adopting a standard that came in early 90s, and now here we are talking about ISO 222. If we relate to some real life examples, what happened with GameStop and Robinhood, where it was mentioned that it was a liquidity issue, but let me ask you something. I mean, what apps do you use today in order for the international bank transfers or the money transfers? What kind of apps do you use today?
I mean, for me, I'd use my banking app, to be honest.
Right, but with those banking apps, if you look at it, once you make the payment happen, it's just a perception of letting you know that it's an instant payment, but that transaction stays as pending in your bank account for 2 or 3 days.
Right.
So if I wanna bring up an example here that literally happened last week. One of my friend from India called me who used to live here in the States, and he moved back 5 years ago, and he actually used one of these apps in order to make an instant transfer. He got the money in his Indian account, but within 24 hours, he got a call from the provider that they never got their funds from the bank account here in the States.
Wow.
They got to know about it way later that his account here is frozen because of there is no activity in the last few years.
Yeah.
Now, if you think about it, if this would have been a true instant payments, then ideally the funds should have been cleared right then and there itself, and the provider is happy, your end consumer is happy. But by just showing the perception of instant payments, we are talking about a poor customer experience. Now he's in trouble right now.
Yeah.
That where to get those funds from. He cannot get to the States right now just to get those funds from the bank, and bank is not willing to release those funds because there is no one to authenticate those funds for. So that's the kind of a challenge that we are actually talking about here.